Now, the moment that everybody's been waiting for,
Oh,
Brian.
yeah.
It's waiver wire time.
Waiver
It's time for the
wire.
waiver wire.
Waiver wire week 7. So yeah, we kind of spoiled the lead here, but
Yeah.
Kyle Manzardo is first up. So like I said, I might even like this like from a pure offense perspective more than the La Perfito call up. Like
Okay.
Manzardo is like I said, he's hitting 305 in AAA. It was like getting laughable that he was still down there.
Yeah.
Because now, I mean, again, there's log jams and stuff, but they had to find a reason to bring him up. And unfortunately, it was the Stephen Kwan injury. So, he's striking out at less than 18%. I love anything for a power hitter like this. Under 22, roughly, is kind of what I look for. So this is good. But he should be rostered. Like he's coming up, even if he's only up until somebody is activated from the IL. I don't really care. I'll ride that wave until further notice. So yeah, Kyle Manzardo. If you need first base or DH or utility guy, he's the top priority this week for me.
Number one priority. You heard it here first
Yep.
from Brian. Number one priority.
Very close to the number 2 guy.
Who is riding a crazy wave right now?
Riding a wild wave. So Willie Castro got crazy position eligibility for the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah.
So he's hit safely in like 9 or 10 of the last 11 games. I think it was 10 of the last 11. The hitting streak ended on Sunday. Okay, that's fine. But he's absolutely raking right now, and he can play every offensive position except for catcher and first base for the Twins. So this is a guy, like if you just need someone to fill a roster spot, you could do a lot worse than the guy who has 6 position eligibility for you. So, and he's got some pop. He's stealing bases. He's scoring, right? So he's doing a little bit of everything. So Willie Castro for the Twins, ride the hot hand while it's hot.
Yeah, and if you ever see a trend here in the waivers, it's the position versatility that these guys have.
Yes.
Like we love position versatility.
Yeah.
Guys
Anyone who's got like it's hard to recommend single position guys because of at this point, you need people who can plug and play multiple spots, which again, the Kyle Manzardo rec, it was tough to put him above Willie Castro, but I think it's the right thing just as far as like expected production.
Right. All right. Well, how about the number 3 man here on our list, Tyler Black?
Tyler Black. So I believe we got some questions last week, after the live stream about prospects, and Tyler Black was included. So he's a second base, third base for the Brewers. He's probably going to be playing first base and DH for them a lot, but his first game in the majors, he batted cleanup. Okay. So that tells you how the Brewers feel about him. Okay. He's a stud. And the Brewers are just very good at developing talent. They have a sneaky good farm system year after year. I mean, they traded Corbin Burns willingly, got 2 prospects back, and they're what I mean. Like they're confident enough in their ability to develop players,
right?
And Tyler Black's one of those guys. So, ton of pop. There might be some matchup things for Tyler Black, but he's likely going to be playing first base, though he can move across the infield pretty well, second and third. So, he's already, like I said, they're already showing faith in him, so he should be rostered everywhere. It's hard, but I'm even going to say, because I'm having a similar dilemma, guys like Tyro Estrada, right? Like I would cut guys like that for Tyler Black. I'll take the flyer at this point.
Okay. I respect that. Yeah, the question that you're referring to from last week was from Empress 4101. He asked us, can we rank the prospects that were recently brought up, which were Loper, Fido, Black, and Beck?
Yes.
And you put Black at the back end of that, though, right?
I did, and I think I was wrong. And the reason I said that was I didn't see where he was going to play immediately. Like I didn't know where the Brewers were going to slot him in. Loper Fido, we saw like there was an immediate need for him, and then Beck, he has the Coors Field advantage, right? So that was the main reason. But I think Tyler Black might be at the top of this now. He's already kind of played himself up there. Yeah, definitely grab him if he's available anywhere in your leagues. And I think he's a nice little sneaky challenges and best ball play in any lineup.
Last guy on the list who made it before the honorable mention cutoff is TJ Friedl. Again, Cincinnati Reds. We spoke about him a couple minutes ago, but again, a high waiver priority to you.
Yes. I even had a conversation with someone this morning of do you drop Loperfido for Friedel based on your needs? But I think Friedel is great, and like I said, the Reds need production out of their outfield, and he's going to come in. He's going to start immediately. So if he's out there, then you should grab him, especially if you need any semblance of outfield help. I'll take Friedel over a lot of other guys on the waivers.
Gotcha. And then for the honorable mentions, is there any particular couple players you want to mention, or?
I will mention Von Grissom. I've put him in the waiver article several times, but now it looks like I think he was activated over the weekend for the Red Sox, shortstop for the Red Sox. Another one of those highly touted prospects. Believe he started with the Padres, or he either started with the Padres or the Nationals. I don't remember which way it went. It's tough sledding out here. I get a lot of things to remember, but shortstop help. He only plays shortstop, but he might get some run at second base as well. So he's a guy to keep your eye on just from a pure perspective of offensive output. And the Red Sox need guys to do it from the shortstop position since Trevor Story is on the shelf again.
Yeah, and he played good on Sunday, so
he did. So
shout out to Grissom, definitely worth it. And what about? I'm just curious so far of what we've seen from Pete Crow Armstrong. Are you happy with it? Are you a little worried? Are you good with it? Like, how are you feeling?
I mean, the outfield play is so smooth. It's hard to you see that and it's really hard to look at anything else. He chases a lot. The dude swings at the first pitch a ton. So I like Pete Crow Armstrong. I think he's going to be an absolute menace for years to come. I think he might get sent back down once Bellinger is activated just to work on how often he's chasing.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty happy with it. He's a young kid too. So I think the Cubs are happy with what he's doing. And I have a feeling if he does get sent down again, the next call up will probably be permanent.
Gotcha. And then for some prospects, I know we just spoke about a few already, but are there any prospects you're watching this week coming up?
I hope Junior Camarino gets the call for the Rays. He's been mashing for years in the farm system. So I think it's time to bring him up, see what he can do. Again, this is like the Rays are another team where you never know where guys can play because everyone seems to be a utility player. It's the opposite of the Padres because the Padres have like 18 shortstops on the roster that they've just converted, right? And it's the opposite for the Rays. So, I think Camarino might get the call sooner rather than later. And then Brian Ramos, third baseman for the White Sox, he got the call over the weekend. He's one to keep your eye on. White Sox are going to start bringing up these young guys to see what they've got in the system. So, I love third baseman too. I think it's a hard position to vet, especially for fantasy. So, give these guys a look and see what they do.
Hey, my boy Brett Beatty's been doing pretty good at third.
Yeah, he is. It's good. Look, we talked about him a few weeks ago, man.
Some nice plays out there.
The leather has gotten much better for Brett Beatty, and I think the Mets know it, which is nice. I think they're going to stick with him and let him work it out because he has the capability to do it.
Yeah, and also Camarino, he's like the top 5 prospect in baseball, isn't he?
He is. Yeah.
All of baseball.
I know. Yeah. I know he might be number 1 at this point. Like, I don't really know because he's been so high for so long, but it's time. Like, I know like with Jackson Holiday or whatever, right? Like we saw it kind of crash and burn. Camarino, I don't think is going to be that way because he's been in the system a while.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens, man.
But again, another 20-year-old man, you never,
let's again, just throw him in the fire. Worst case, he's got enough options. You can send him back down, but let's stop with the dog and pony show. Let's get these kids who are raking. Let's get them to the show.
I'm with you, man. I'm sure most fans agree. All right, over to the pitchers. We'll start with the Mets. Christian Scott. Again, we just talked about him. He had a pretty damn good game the other day. Yeah. How do you feel, man? Like going forward, you trusting this guy or?
Look, he did it against a really good offense this weekend. He did it against the Rays, and he was sitting like fastball. I think it was fastball changeup or fastball slider most of the game. So he didn't throw his splitter, which is kind of what he's known for. He only threw it, I think, 8 times. So less than 10 of his pitches were the splitter. So he's my top priority for pitching this week. Even if it's a 1-star pitcher this week, like I don't really care. I don't think the Mets are going to send him back down. If they do, I'm sorry. But I think he sticks in the rotation and he's my top waiver pitcher for this week.
Yeah. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right because, like I said, I'm tired of the vets on the Mets. They're just not the vets on the Mets. It
Mets,
rhymes with
Mets,
that.
maybe? Yeah. No, but yeah, I mean, look, Scott's he's a firecracker, and like he has just absolutely blasted through the system. Like he
Yeah,
was kind of on no one's radar, and then over the last 18 months, he just kind of came out of nowhere. So, and guys who do that tend to they're either really really good and they just stick, or they like are a flash in the pan. I don't think this is a flash in the pan.
hopefully not. Hopefully not, man. Another guy on the list, John Means, Baltimore. Surprise.
I mean, what more can I say? It's just the Orioles are just a well-oiled machine. So Means was coming back from Tommy John, so he threw 85 pitches through 7 innings, which I was like, are they gonna let him go? But they didn't. They pulled him after that. 8 strikeouts, no earned runs, gave up 3 hits. Like great start for John Means coming off of Tommy John. Um, and so they get Bradish back last week. They get Means back this week. That lineup, that rotation, anytime you can get a piece of something like that, I highly recommend it. So John Means, if he's available anywhere, please go grab him.
And then a guy who we just spoke about his AAA teammate, Camarino, is also playing well down there. Taj Bradley.
I'm not going to say he's a league winner. I'm not going to say that, but
You
I'm
want
not
to.
not
You want
saying
to.
it.
You
I
want
Yeah,
to.
I do. I do. I have been on the Taj Bradley trade, like in Dynasty. I think I've had him for like 3 years. Okay, like
Yeah.
I have been waiting for this to finally happen. No, he has looked excellent in 2 rehab starts in AAA Durham. 15 strikeouts, 1 earned run, 5 innings, then 6 innings. Like I don't think he needs another rehab start from what I saw, but I'm not a GM, so I would be shocked if he is not up if not this week, next week for sure. So if your league has been sleeping on Taj Bradley, grab him, put him on the back of your bench. I don't know if I'm not gonna say he's a top 20 fantasy pitcher, but he's very easily a top 40 guy, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So I think there are plenty of streamers that you may have held on to that you could do away with in order to get Bradley in your lineup.
Yeah. And I'm excited to get to use him in challenges and bingo. And come on, bring him up, man.
I don't know many guys I will pick over Taj Bradley. I am so on this train. Like I am
Yep.
going down with the ship, man.
Yep.
Like I am fine with it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I accept it. But
I'm with you, man. We're the
I
Taj Bradley boys, man.
yeah, I will ride this train into the mouth of hell if I have to, man. That is how confident I am. He's going to be an absolute menace.
Let's go, man. Let's go, Taj. He deserves some air horns on that, man. Come on, man.
We love him. We love
We
him.
love him. So honorable mentions.
Yep.
Who do you
So
got, man? Who you got?
Tyler Anderson's been really great for the Angels, so like definitely get him. And so is Colin Ray for the Brewers. Those
Yeah.
guys have been really solid. Definitely, and I think they might both be 2-start pitchers this week. Don't quote me on that, but I know Tyler Anderson is for sure. He's pitching tonight, and I think Colin Ray pitches tomorrow. But don't quote me. But either way, they've both been fantastic. So highly recommend. And then Graham Ashcraft too for the Reds. Like we talked about earlier, their pitching staff has been really solid. So if their pitching staff is this good when the offense is struggling, hopefully if the offense turns it around, that bodes even better for the starting pitchers.
I just double checked. Ray is also a 2-star pitcher this week.
Great. Nailed it. So yeah, love Colin Ray this week then. Like I'm like really into the NL Central this year. Just the Brewers, the Cubs, even the Reds. Like the Cardinals have been like okay. The Pirates are fun to watch again. So
Yep.
Just I'm very in on most NL Central players.
And you know what would make the Pirates even more fun to watch?
I think I know, Neil. I think I know.
Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens, call him up.
I mean, the guy, he seems like he's destined for greatness, man.
My goodness, the dude is, I mean, it's like comical at this point. I understand. Look, I would kind of like with the Taj Bradley thing. Like, I'm very happy that these teams are taking their time, making sure these guys are stretched out, especially what we saw at the beginning of the year. All the elbow injuries. I would still prefer this, but it's like the Kyle Manzardo thing. It's just comical to see him do this in AAA. I mean, he's carving these dudes up. So,
right.
let's get him up to the majors. Let's have Paul Skeens in here. And then just one other prospect watch, Mason Black, San Francisco Giants, starting tonight or today. That rotation could be very scary, not even including Blake Snell. If Kyle Harrison, Keaton Wynn, and Mason Black all shake out and they have 3 stud rookie pitchers, Giants might have arguably the best young rotation in the MLB if it sticks.
Mason Black, Zach Wheeler tonight might be a fun challenge.
That would be a fun challenge. I'll be ballsy. I'll take the Black side of that. I'll take Mason Black.
You might have to get that one on the board here at the end.
Yeah, I'll put my money on Black. This is it's like roulette, but for fantasy baseball.